Hey everyone, Kevin here, and welcome back to my channel. So let's just be honest with ourselves. It is a terrible time to try and transition out of teaching. The Great Resignation following COVID is over, and changing trends with AI and the economy at large have led to a shrinking of job postings. Add on top of that the layoff culture that we still exist in, and the job market is just kind of bleak right now. As I'm writing this script, Microsoft alone just announced a 7,000 person layoff and even more investment in AI to speed up their processes. I left at the tail end of the Great Resignation in 2022 and was able to find work fairly quickly. It still took a lot of time and a lot of interviews, and there was a point at which I was unemployed for a little while, but I didn't really have much of an issue securing jobs. It was a job seekers market back then because companies needed workers desperately and were willing to take a chance on people with comparatively less experience, like career changers and teachers. It's why well over a million teachers who left between 2020 and 2022, like I did, had struggles but were generally successful, and that, along with the clear mental and physical strain on the teachers who remained, encouraged more to leave the profession, and more, and more. Now, we don't have solid statistics anymore because they stopped doing them, but it is somewhere in the ballpark of over 2 million teachers who've probably quit now. That and the mass layoffs from the Department of Education and other education adjacent roles at the federal level have only exacerbated the issue. It is why L&D and EdTech roles alone are becoming scarcer and scarcer every month. Simply put, the number of people looking for work has soared to the point that we are essentially in a white collar recession, and why it is now a hiring market, not a job seekers market like we had prior to 2023. Companies are less willing to risk hiring people who don't have perfect or unicorn type experience simply because they can. When I was laid off in December of 2023, I had experience, portfolio, interviewed well, and had niche abilities in the industry. Yet that didn't stop me from spending 8 months looking for work, and you are defined as chronically unemployed if you've been actively looking for and unable to find anything after 6 months. I know many people who've just surpassed 20 months of looking now, too, and most of them are teetering on homelessness since they are at like Great Depression levels of broke at this point. For me, it wasn't until, again, I was the exact unicorn the company was looking for that landed me a role I'm very happy with. When this video comes out, it will be my 1 year anniversary of getting this job next week, and the stability it has provided has been invaluable, as you can imagine. But if I was transitioning out of teaching now, I'm not sure if I could do it. The job market is incredibly saturated, especially for instructional designers like myself, and pretty much every former teacher in corporate would tell you that they've been laid off at least once in the last year and a half now. And that's not meant to discourage anyone from leaving teaching. A big part of the reason why I make these videos is to encourage people to leave. There comes a breaking point where we just can't take the abuse and mental health issues anymore, and you have every right to free yourself from that. Staying in the job will only lead to more trauma. But to be realistic, the market was difficult but decent when I left. Now it is a literal wasteland of scam job postings, academies and fake gurus who coerce you into spending money on their programs that promise you a job, and job postings with countless numbers of applicants. Now, yes, many of those applicants are probably under or unqualified for the role, but to give you an example, my team posted a new instructional designer job back in May. Within 5 hours, we had somewhere near 1,000 applications, and my boss and I were flooded with in-mail messages on LinkedIn from people asking how they could get an interview or do more to secure the role, which, of course, anyone would do. I ended up having coffee chats with a lot of those people because I like to donate my time, but it was daunting to answer just dozens, if not hundreds, of messages all at once like that. And we only ended up interviewing 10 people. It really reminded me how lucky I was able to get the job I have now because it's only gotten worse since. And like the Microsoft example I mentioned earlier, the job market is only getting bigger and bigger with the layoffs seemingly every week. And heaven forbid if you're looking for a full time role like ours was, because you'll be competing with literally everyone who wants that same job. So, what's my point here? Well, I would say that if there was ever a job market to not jump blindly into, it would be this one. You really need to be aware of what you're getting yourself into, have done the research and upskilling to successfully transition into whatever new role you want to do, have a portfolio, and be applying and interviewing while you're still teaching. Right now, I'd caution any teacher from jumping ship without a new job offer in hand. And that really hurts to say because I always advocate for teachers to leave the classroom as soon as they reach burnout, not later. And I will always continue to do that. But I'm also realistic and know that there comes a point that I refuse to set up people to fail because that does you and everyone else a disservice. Like I said in one of my oldest yet still most popular video on YouTube, you can break a teaching contract if you have a new job ready to go. The threats they have of reporting you to the state, getting your credential revoked, or fining you are rarely enforceable and are almost never followed through on since districts don't have the time or effort to penalize you when you leave. The fear tactics they used are actually hollow the minute you basically tell them to shove it, so don't worry about that or jumping ship when you have a better opportunity. Never let the fear of reprisal from your district prevent you from getting out. But don't let that embolden you too much either. Be realistic, measured, and do a thorough job of preparing to make the move out of the classroom, including saving up money to live on for a little while in the event you take longer to find a role or get laid off later. The job market sucks right now, and though there are always jobs out there, the competition is horrendous. Like I said earlier, if I was just starting the transition out of teaching today, I'm not sure I'd be even remotely as successful because the grass isn't greener at the moment. The corporate world is not a get out of teacher jail free card right now, and it is important for those of you considering leaving education to understand. So just temper your expectations a little bit, okay, guys? But I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and remember, no matter what, I am still here to help you navigate this process because no matter the difficulties, teaching is just not the career for long term mental and physical health like it used to be. But if you just take a quick second to click like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. For now, though, I've been Kevin, and I will see you in the next video.